Hey guys, so a lot of you have been messaging me and telling me that I inspired you to try to resell some clothing on Mercari is the one that I keep hearing. So I wanted to pop in here and just give you guys some tips that I have learned for selling clothing specifically on Mercari. I've sold electronics and things like that as well, home goods here and there, but mostly it's been clothing, and I've sold over 100 pieces just in this past year. So I've kind of figured out a groove and what works and what doesn't work so well. So I'm sharing with you guys so you can have success from the get-go. Okay, so I have my notes over here so that I can stay on track with you. So I have 4 main points, tips I want to share with you guys. First of all, photos are everything. It's really important that if at all possible, you get photos in natural lighting. So if you can lay down a blanket or something near a window that gets some nice natural light and take the photos there. Also, make sure that your photos, that your piece is laying or sitting on a contrasting solid background. So for example, if you are selling a white t-shirt, take the photo of the white t-shirt like laying on maybe like a dark gray blanket or something so that you can really see the difference between the background and the piece that you're trying to sell. Or if you're hanging it up on a wall, that's another way people like to take photos. Make sure it's like a darker colored shirt or pants on a white background. Just make sure that there's some difference in the contrast between the item that you're selling in the background. Secondly, take multiple photos. So like take a picture of the tag, take a picture of the front and the back of the piece. If there's any special detail, take pictures of that. You also want to, let's see, what are my notes here? Sorry, I got distracted because the neighbor came out and then I get really self-conscious. She's driving away. Okay, if you can take a picture of the item either on you, or if you can find a stock photo from the original retailer of it on somebody, that's really helpful. And then another thing that's helpful, it's not necessary but is helpful, is if you can take a photo of the item with other things that you would naturally pair it with. So again, if you're taking a picture of a white top, there's lots of pictures of the white top by itself, and then maybe there's a picture of the white top with a cute pair of jeans and boots to kind of inspire the person of how can I pair this, you know, how can I wear this item. Okay, thanks for bearing with me, guys. They're gone, so I don't feel self-conscious anymore. Secondly, moving into listing the item. So there's a couple things. You want to make sure you get descriptive, and you get as much description in the title as you can, because that's where, when people are searching in the search bar, Mercari is going to pull from that. You're going to filter into certain categories. So sometimes people, when they're searching for items, they're going to like say that they're searching specifically for tops, or they're specifically searching for certain sizes. So make sure you fill out all that information. This is important, and this is something I have had to learn the hard way. Try to make sure that you find the proper term for things. So for example, if you are selling a trench coat, and you don't know what the proper term is, try to figure that out. Ask somebody who knows, ask Google, try to find the item online, so that you can say that you are selling a trench coat and not a jacket. Because people are going to be looking for trench coats and they may or may not be looking for a jacket, or what they perceive to be a jacket may not be what you think a jacket is. So try to find the proper term, which brings me into tags. Tags are really helpful. Basically, they are an opportunity for you to add anything that somebody might search that you can't or doesn't really make sense to put in your title. So with that trench coat example, you want to say in the title it's a trench coat, but then because you know that there's probably some people that aren't going to know the right term, that's what they're looking for, and they might type in the term jacket, add jacket as a tag in the tag section. So that way, that basically tells Mercari, if somebody types in jacket into the search, you want this item to pull up in that search. Another way that you can use tags is by tagging other brands that are similar. So for example, if you're selling something that's J. Crew, maybe you want to tag Gap or Banana Republic, because they have similar audiences and similar styles. So if somebody they're searching for a J. Crew thing, they might be really interested in your Gap item because they're just similar styles, okay? So utilize those tags, make sure that your listings are nice and descriptive, that you give information on the material, the condition, the color. Try to make sure that your photos properly reflect the color accurately, and taking the photo in natural lighting will help do that, okay? Because the lighting in, you know, the fluorescent lighting and things like that does not always give us a good replication of the actual color in person. Shipping, okay. So a couple things about shipping. I have found, okay, so Mercari encourages people to utilize the free shipping option. What that really means is that you are accounting for the cost of shipping in the price of the item rather than the buyer paying shipping separately, okay? So somebody's still paying for shipping. If you offer free shipping, you are paying for the shipping. So keep that in mind. If you utilize the free shipping option, which they encourage you to because they say that you're twice as likely to sell if you include free shipping, but make sure that you kind of have an idea of how much it's going to cost you to ship so that you can include that for yourself in the price of the item so you're not losing money. I have found that one of the cheapest ways to ship things, specifically with clothing, is one, I don't use Mercari. You have the option to use Mercari where they will charge the buyer shipping. You can use the free shipping option, but their prices are a little higher than what I can get if I use Pirate Ship. And if I have a little kitchen scale that I weigh my item, and I usually save $1 per package. So that means more money in my pocket. That's pirateship.com. So I have found that if you want, for convenience sake, to use Mercari's shipping labels and it's just emailed to you when the item sells, you can print it out. That's no problem. Just know that you can save probably about $1 per package if you do it on your own through Pirate Ship. Either way, you need to print out the label at home, so make sure you have access to a printer. With shipping as well, I have found that the cheapest, easiest way to ship is if you ship in a poly mailer. I'll show you. I use these poly mailers, okay? These ones in particular I linked on my blog because I've used quite a few brands, and these ones are probably like the sturdiest that I've found, and they're cute. But anyways, anything under 1 pound that fits in here, which is like a pair of jeans or a shirt or something, I can usually ship for between $3.50 and $4.50. Once you hit that 1 pound mark, then you kind of like launch into the next tier, and it goes from like $3.50 to $5 an item to like $8 or $9 an item. So keep that in mind if you have a heavier item, or if you're selling a lot, which is multiple items in one listing. Then at that point, it just makes more sense to put things in a box. So just keep that in mind. And if you're putting things in a box and it weighs 2 to 3 pounds, then with Pirate Ship, I usually am able to ship between $8 and $9 for that. Okay, now lastly, pricing it right. This is really important because you don't want to lose money. You want to make sure you're accounting for everything. So here's a few tips and things that I've learned about pricing items on Mercari. First of all, you have to have an idea of what is the minimum that you want to pocket for the item. So start from there. What's the minimum that you really don't want to take any less than this, okay? Then if you're doing free shipping, which is you pay shipping, account for that in the price, add that on, account for that. Mercari does take a portion of the sale. So they take 10% of the final sale price, and they take a small processing fee. So I just sold an action figure for $77. So they took the $7.70, which is the 10% like profit fee, and then they took like $2.80 for the processing fee, and it's smaller for smaller items or items that cost less. So it's a pretty small, it's only a couple, I think it's like 2 or 3%, but keep that in mind because you're not going to pocket all of that. So account for those fees, and then add a few dollars for wiggle room. And this is what I've learned the hard way. So with Mercari and the way that Mercari works, you have a couple options. You are able to promote items, which kind of bumps them to the top of the search when people are looking for items. You can promote things by offering a 5% discount, but that's dropping the price. And each time you offer them, you can only promote an item when you drop it. So you can't drop it and then jack it back up and then drop it again and then jack it. You get it one shot. So if you price your items, if you give yourself a few dollars wiggle room, like maybe I'm looking at a shirt and I'm thinking, well, with shipping and Mercari fees and what I want to pocket, I'm going to pay, you know, I'm thinking about pricing this at $15. Personally, I would take that 15 and I would probably do 18 to give myself a little wiggle room, because then I can post the item. So when it's first posted, it's at the top of the search results. And then on the weekends, because I found that people shop more, I sell way more things on the weekends and the evening. So usually around maybe Thursday night or Friday night, I'll promote an item, which means that it drops the price 5%. So maybe now it's offering, what, $16.50 or something, or $17. And that will bump it back up for people to search. Now, people also have the option on Mercari to like an item, which kind of saves it in this like section, kind of like watching an item on eBay. So if they like an item, they get notifications every time the price drops as well, and that makes people more likely to purchase your item. Another thing that you can do with Mercari is you can send private offers only to people who have liked your item. So if you notice that you have 3 or 4 people who have liked your item but it hasn't sold yet, you want a little bit of wiggle room to maybe offer them a couple dollars off. So they see that and they know they're not the only person getting that. So there's a little bit of urgency to like, oh shoot, this just went on sale. If I want it, I got to act now. So give yourself some wiggle room, okay? Don't be too worried about people looking at something and going, oh, well, that's too much. If it's not outrageously priced, if it's just a little higher than what they want to spend, most people are going to like it, okay? And they'll sit on it. And then you have more opportunity to build your audience and to offer them in the future a discount. But you're going to be disappointed if you feel like you're already at your rock bottom of what you can sell it for, and then you can't promote it and find new likers or offer anybody a deal because you don't want to cut into your profits. Okay. Very last thing here, pricing psychology. Stay away from things that end in 0. Typically, people feel like that's not a deal. Things that end in 9, and then some people say 7, are kind of your sweet spot where people feel if you're pricing something there, or if you're sending out an offer to your likers, if you send it and it ends in 9 or ends in, so maybe the item's normally priced at $23 and you send your likers an offer for $19, it's going to feel a lot better and they're going to be more likely to purchase than if you send them an offer for $20. It's only a $1 difference, but if it makes the sale, it's worth it. Okay, so I hope that this is helpful. If you guys have not already signed up for Mercari, let me know. I have a link that will get you a $20 bonus once you make your first $100 selling on Mercari, which is honestly really easy. I'm happy to help if you have any other questions, and good luck. Go list some things and get some extra pocket change for the holidays, or just whatever if you're watching this a month from now. Bye.